after failing at being a police officer, after failing at being a drug dealer and a money launderer, after failing at running a security company in which he allowed Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight to be shot in Vegas, Reggie Wright Jr. is now in the mortgage industry. You wonder what I mean? Well, let's get into some of this straight game.
Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell a friend. And like I always say, if you're new to the channel and you would like to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and hit that bell notification right below this video, and you'll be notified. So I'm gonna get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some information for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Reggie Wright Jr. now works for the mortgage company. He works in the mortgage industry. Yes. You know, and this is what he would have you believe. But let me tell you, after failing at being a police officer, after failing at being a drug dealer and money launderer, after failing at being the head of Suge Knight's security firm over at Death Row, right? And after failing at protecting Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight in Las Vegas on that September 7th, 1996 night, right? Reggie Wright now wants you to believe that he's in the mortgage industry. You say, well, how? Reggie Wright just did a video in which is pure clickbait. I'm going to give you the reason why. You got to be, it's clickbait. Check it out. He insinuates that Snoop Dogg somehow let Warren G lose his house, right? Okay. Now, in this video, the question was asked in regards to Warren G responding to Reggie Wright using his name, and Reggie Wright not even actually knowing Warren G. He doesn't even know Warren G, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, you got to take anything and everything that he's saying, not even with a grain of salt, with a minuscule, a molecule of dirt, if you will, right? So the question is asked by Gullible John. I call him Gullible John. You know, Reggie's partner over there, Bomb First, Gullible John. He's very gullible, you know, believes anything and everything Reggie says and puts it out no matter whether it's the lie or the truth. And so, you know, you're very gullible in that nature, right? And so he asked Reggie, he said, did you hear that interview that Warren G had did, right? Reggie said, yeah. He said, he asked him, so how do you feel about it? Now, this is after trying to salt Warren G's name. You know, once again, Warren G's a made guy, you know, multi-platinum producer, songwriter. He's the guy who took the demo with Snoop on it to Dre's stepbrother, the whole 9 yards, right? So Warren G's official. Once again, Reggie likes to use official people's name to put in his title, you know, so that he can get some kind of attention from that. You know what I mean? Based on lies and speculation and downright disrespect. Check this out now. So when he asked the question about did Reggie hear Warren G's reply in regards to him, Reggie says, yeah. And then Reggie says, well, I could respect that because he was polite. He was cool and mild-mannered as he always is, right? What? You understand what I'm saying? See, what the tactic is, let me say something negative, derogatory, incendiary, disrespectful about somebody, in hopes that I get a response, in hopes that I can start some kind of fake beef or dialogue with somebody who has a name, right? And you know, with some YouTubers, this has worked. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even say it has worked with me. He just told a lie on me. So now I have to expose him for who he actually is. He's a liar, right? Period. Bottom line. So now, so when he says that about Warren G and doesn't provide any information as to what he's saying, it's tantamount and factually clickbait. He produces no documentation, no nothing. And then goes on to say that he's going to bring somebody else on the show, on his platform, right? Who we don't know if they've agreed to be on his platform or not, because a lot of people not going to deal with Reggie. He's messy. You know, people have relationships with other people. They don't want their relationship salted up by dealing with Reggie Wright Jr. from that perspective. You know, people like to feed their families, and there might be opportunities that can come along, and you just not going to go over there and spout out anything about people and not really have any evidence or anything like that to prove what you're saying, or from the perspective of what Reggie does. You know, basically, he doesn't even care. So now, after he says all of these things, right, I thought about something. I was like, well, he's insinuating basically, which is a lie, that Snoop let Warren G lose his house. But then I thought about something. I was like, well, didn't Snoop just give Warren G a customized El Camino and a Harley Davidson for his 50th birthday? Right? This is their relationship in true form. Check it out.
Whoa! Are you kidding me?
You can ride out, you can roll out.
Well, what? That's you. What?
You can
But he
ride,
just
you can roll
pointed
out.
it out.
The keys ready to go. Boom bop, boom bop.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
It's your 50th seat, that cuz.
Come on, Snoop, cuz.
Boy, you been riding with us, cuz. We've been riding every week. You've been making excuses. You ain't got no low riding. You ain't got this. So now, instead of you using your bike that you always use, you got a bike to ride with us, and you got a car to roll with. No excuses.
You gotta be
Lil already said
kidding
you
me.
can ride. She done already said.
You gotta be
That shit. Come Sunday, you better be out there with them niggas.
No, I'm not. Lil already said you can ride, nigga. Stand up.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, nigga. Yeah, cause we do work behind the scenes, nigga. Me and Miss Griffin, nigga.
You gotta be kidding me, cuz.
So now, Reggie Wright could have chose to talk about that. He could have chose to show you that. Why didn't he choose to show you that? You know why he didn't choose to show you that? Because that's not going along with the narrative that he's been trying to run down. And then after that, I'm going to give you the narrative, not from what I say, but from what he said in the same exact video that he did, basically trying to insinuate that. He said, let me stop hating on Snoop. Let me let them go ahead and be friends. You got to understand, this guy has created a lot of tension. You know, can you imagine when he had what people thought was a little bit of power, right? The kind of tension that he could create between, you know, what would be probably friends at that time, right? This is tantamount to the COINTELPRO, you know, these police tactics and things like that to try to get, you know, one person against the other and say something and try to bring up old, maybe some kind of disenchantment somebody may have had at one time, and then he's trying to use that to try to create something, right? But that didn't work. You seen the love between Warren G and Snoop? Once again, with no evidence, Reggie Wright Jr. tried to imply that Snoop let Warren G lose his house. With no context. And what I mean by context is this. When did that happen? Where's your documentation? Not only that, when you talk about that, right? Then people are in the comments basically trying to insinuate or assume or ask the question and saying, well, why didn't Dre come and help him? You have jumped the gun when you even ask that question. You don't even know if what Reggie Wright's saying is true. But you can take it on face value after you know that he lied on Frank Alexander in regards to the Orlando Anderson situation. He admitted that he lied. There's tapes out that he lied. He didn't lie. He didn't admit that he lied on Yasmin Fuller. I showed you where he lied. And then after I showed you where he lied, he erased the tape. You can't find it on his channel no more. Why? Because he doesn't want to be exposed for who he actually is. You understand what I'm saying? So not only does he work for the mortgage company now, right? Check it out. He also does pocket watching investigations. You say pocket watching investigate. Yeah, absolutely. Because then he goes into, do you know how much Snoop paid Corrupt and Daz to go on tour and blah, blah, blah? Well, what he left out is, well, we don't know what he paid him. Reggie Wright has offered no documentation. He's just coming up with information that he may have heard somewhere else, and now he's trying to run with it as if it's firsthand information and he has the documentation to show you this is what they were paid. He doesn't know. But you got to understand, Daz and Corrupt was doing their own shows too. So how much was they making, Reggie? When they wasn't working with Snoop, when they were being booked by other promoters, how much money was they making? See, he can't tell you that. See, that's the other side of the story. That might be the more positive side of the story that he's not going to give you. It does not fit with the hater narrative that he's been trying to run. Remember, in the same video, he said, let me stop hating on Snoop. So we know what it is now. He hating on Warren. He hating on Snoop. He hating on Daz and Corrupt. Right? And you know what that means, right? He ain't even happy with himself. You understand what I'm saying? They say misery loves company, right? And like I said, me personally, I would never want to, because I feel for the brother for having COVID and all of those things. So I would never want to stoop as low as he would stoop and saying something about somebody who may have been going through some kind of medical difficulty. I don't even ride on that road. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, being miserable in just about what you're saying about other people who have not said anything about you, who have not even addressed you. And in Warren G's case, who you don't even know. And the man said that you didn't know him and asked that you respectfully keep his name out your mouth. And then he says, and then he tries to turn it up a little bit by saying, oh, Warren G don't want to mess with me because he know I know stuff. Know stuff about what? What has Warren G did to you that would make you want to say something about him that you allegedly think you know from some hearsay or third-party conversation that may or may not be true? You get it? Once again, said what he said about me. Reggie Wright ain't never met me a day in his life. We've never met personally. He don't know nothing about me. That's why he can't say nothing, because he don't know nothing about me. He don't know really nobody that knows me, right? So once again, he'll try to reach and try to say something slick, and get the low level thinking people, he'll say something, Reggie about to go in. No, Reggie's about to lie to you again, based on the fact that he does not have firsthand information in regards to anything that he's saying. And last but not least, right, as you see, the Tupac stories have kind of run out over there on Bomb First. So it's like, let me stick to Snoop and let me stick to Warren G, let me stick to Daz, let me stick to talking about Harry O. You know what I mean? I don't even know if he ever met Harry O before. I bet you $50 he ain't never meet her, yo. I know he didn't meet her, yo. Right? But this guy claims that he has information in regards to who Harry-O is, what he's about, and his character. You don't find this amazing? You don't find that amazing? Because I do. Because like I said, if I never met a person, if somebody asks me something about somebody, the first thing I'm going to say is, but I've never met him. I don't really know him. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. But not Reggie Wright. You ask me, John, you going to get me shadow banned. But you know I got to speak on it. Amazing. So I say that to say this. When Snoop got his star on the Walk of Fame, Warren G was right there. Dre was right there. Everybody was right there. I was right there. I watched it with my own eyes. Right? We seen the green screen room over at Snoop's studio. And just showing love. G-Dub, here you go. And that's what they call Warren G, right? Here you go, because you say you can't ride with us, and Snoop saying, like, if your bike broke down, you know what I mean, or you got a flat tire on your bike, you know what I mean? Nah, guess what? I got a couple of bikes, right? And as my homeboy, in relation to cars, here you go. These yours. Now come ride with us, because we want you around. That's what real dudes do, man. You know what I mean? So all of the negativity and the hate that Reggie been dispersing as of recent in regard, please don't be sidetracked with that. Please don't be sidetracked with that. Please choose to focus on the positive side of things, because it's good for your spirit, it's good for your soul, and it's good for your well-being. Your boy DELRAY, straight game.